And welcome back to SoCal Regionals 2017. Here for Injustice 2, we have a nice $10,000 pop bonus
Chef.
from NetherRealm Studios.
Chef.
We are already here in the top 16.
Chef.
So many players have made it out. We've got, I think, almost every single player that came from the IPS
Chef.
finals has qualified for the top 16.
Chef.
Our next matchup is looking like it's going to be
Please,
Forever
play.
King against Foxy Grampa.
I promise I'll keep playing Harley.
Already a top-level match,
just
something that we could have seen in the grand finals of any other major as the
Like-
first match in top 16, not even top
Chef,
8.
I'm uncomfortable.
It is in winners,
Chef.
but regardless, we are going to see what happens.
Please.
We've seen both of these players already on stream. I think either one could take it. It's going to come a lot down to the matchups.
Pour the holy water on
I
him.
think that these players may already be ready. They've been sitting down, testing their buttons for the last
I
little
promise
bit.
I played Harley for 2 years straight. I promise I only dropped her for Wonder Woman recently. Don't hurt me,
We're going to
please.
see probably Batman from King. To start it off, we've seen the counterpick game before, especially King playing against Tekken Master
Wait.
at the IPS finals. But who knows what it could be. Foxy, I think, almost undoubtedly going to start with
Please.
Deadshot. All right, both of these players should be ready. Unfortunately, my co-caster has been murdered by a supervillain. So I'm going to have to solo cast the rest of this production. It happens, you know, that's the risk that you take when you commentate Injustice. Sometimes there are just supervillains, and sometimes they murder your co-casters. And now I think the Joker's looking at me, and I think there's a good chance that I'm going to die. But right now we've got a sort of supervillain, or more just a normal villain, playing against the superhero, the only one that actually could have saved Katana Prime. Unfortunately, he was too busy being on stream, controlled by Forever King, and that will be Forever King playing Batman against Deadshot from Foxy Grampa. Katana Prime is lying dead next to me. His corpse is being dragged away by the Joker for whatever nefarious deeds will be happening. And already we're seeing quite a bit of chip from Deadshot, playing the zoning game. This is going to be the biggest... Oh, wow, tried to bait the wake up. Very smart. Still uses the trait to take the advantage. And going to get the full combo. No, drops it. How unfortunate. But he's still going to have a good chance. Plus frames off a 1-1-3. It looked like... I don't know. I think a button was pressed from Foxy Grampa. Getting launched. Not a full conversion, but now Foxy's in the corner. Of course, Foxy just as good as King at using that left side interactable. Now Foxy has so much space to be able to just zone out Batman, give that little bit of chip, but very nice usage of the trait and the interactable at the same time to get in. This is not quite going to be enough to kill, but one more setup could do it. Wow, jumps in the corner to use the interactable, but caught by Foxy Grampa. And now Foxy's got some corner pressure of his own, does punish. Interesting choice of just back one. I don't think that was exactly what he wanted, but still, that's just going to further increase his life lead. That's what he's going to need.
Arkham's your next stop.
Eat lead, sucker.
And, oh no, King taking back a little bit of life, winning that, but now both players without meter. Of course, Deadshot doesn't need meter for almost anything. He's still going to be able to get all of his conversions. Same thing with Batman, but Batman uses a little bit more. Taking it back to mid-screen. Nice use of the interactable. If anything goes in King's favor this time, it will be the fact that he's used so many of these interactables. But right now, even that doesn't seem like it's made too much of a difference. He's not able to get in. Of course, Batman's greatest weakness is that he can do Batman things, but only once he's made it in. Nice conversion. Gonna make sure that he throws Foxy further into the corner. Another beautiful conversion. Forever King is an artist with those grapples. Oh, plus frames into plus frames. The comeback could happen. I don't know if that was a good choice. King putting himself in the corner was a nice cross-up potential, but the fact that he didn't land it means that now Foxy has that much more space to run away, and that's going to be it. Foxy taking game one.
Deadshot wins.
We're now officially going to have a memorial service for our... Oh, wow. Look at this man pulling out a Red Bull from the case, making sure that he's got something to drink midway through. But we're going to have to have a memorial service for my co-caster who has been murdered by the Joker. He's gone. The Joker's still here. I think I'm next. Oh, look at that. Somebody wants a Red Bull sponsorship. And that man is Foxy Grampa. I'm actually already sponsored by PXP. Of course, Forever King representing Circa. I do see I believe the CEO of Circa in the front row. King looking like he might be choosing a different character.
Deadshot. Fighters approaching Arkham Asylum.
And now we are going to see the legendary, the one, the only, Deadshot mirror.
Begin.
Now this is a match that we saw so much at East Coast Throwdown. Not really at all at the IPS Finals. There was one off-stream match that we did see that in, but it was kind of hidden in the back, so that will, I think that will be uploaded a little bit later. But here we go, King choosing the character against the man who mains him. Foxy showing that he's the most successful, essentially, main of Deadshot. There are a lot of secondary Deadshots, but choosing your secondary against somebody who's maining the character is always going to be very tough. I mean, you're going to be essentially at a little bit of a disadvantage in every single situation. The only thing you can really do is make a lot of really good reads. And right now, the big issue is that Foxy took the early lead, and that means that King is going to have to make it in anyway, which is something that it would have been more advantageous had he stayed with Batman. That is generally how most zoning matches go. The early lead means everything, and now guaranteed chip will put Foxy up about 50%, a little bit more than that, in the end of the first life bar. Oh, nice, good check on the low gun. I'm not sure that was a punish. I think maybe Foxy was just trying to press buttons afterwards. One of the biggest mind games in the zoning game is sometimes you throw out the low rifle, people expect it to be meter burn, you don't meter burn it, and then they just sit there blocking and waiting.
Don't want to kill yourself, do you? Actually, that might be cathartic.
That's deep. That is very deep. All right, 2 bars in King's favor, giving himself back a little bit of life, but each of those bars could have been used for some guaranteed chip. So the real question is it worth it? And the trade is going to give King his first life bar. He does have a decent amount of life, and also meter. Wow, look at these low gun trades. That is actually very problematic for King. I mean, both players doing a lot of damage in those low gun trades, but the one who has the life lead is going to just get further and further in the lead when you're both taking the same amount of damage. And now at this point, it looks like King has to go in. All right, hits it with the overhead. This is a very good start to the momentum, but now he's going to have to get in on his own character's issues. Oh, wow, lands the jump in over the low rifle and a good flash.
Tougher than I expected. Thought I was bluffing?
Ooh, anti-airs with the gunshot, not gonna be enough, but guaranteed chip. Oh no, didn't quite have the bar. Still manages to chip him out with the low. Unnecessary 50-50s as Foxy going up 2-0 against King. Now King does have a few other characters under his, in his sleeve, I guess you could say. Under his sleeve, that doesn't make any sense. I think he's going to be going back to Batman. At the very least, when he was Batman, when he got in, it was very scary. He just needed to lock him down a little bit more. He almost made the comeback in the first game. Definitely more convincing than when he was trying the mirror. Of course, the mirror is always tempting to try.
Batman.
Secondary Deadshots are kind of the,
Fighters approaching
I don't know,
Gotham
they're the
City.
temptation of Injustice 2. In a lot of matchups, you really want to try to bring it out, bring out that secondary Deadshot, try for a win that's much more in your control, but sometimes you just got to stick it out. That's what Hayatei's been saying. He says you got to be patient, you just got to make your way in slowly, do whatever you can, don't try to do the counterfix, because that's when you put yourself in a disadvantageous position just like this. And now King's going to have to win 3 straight. Oh, hitting him with the movie reels. These weren't good movies anyway. Oh, no meter spends, just the raw low gun. Now, the best thing about that is the fact that the majority of the chip actually comes from the first hit of the low gun. It does a huge amount just by itself. So, meter burning it does give you that nice pushback. It makes it considerably safer. But if you can just get away with raw low gun shots, especially on block, it's very good for the Deadshot. All right. Batman slowly making his way in. Wow, great down one to avoid the slam. Oh, and the fake cross-up hit him in front, lands behind, gets the full combo. But Foxy making great usage of the interactable. And finally, for the first time, I think, in the set, King looks like he has a lead. He also has Foxy in the corner, goes with the fake cross-up. It's a very smart choice because it also means that he gets to keep that corner advantage for pressure. And now all he needs is one more hit. The low gun is a great choice here. It's going to avoid the batarangs. That means King needs to actually make his way in, and that should be the confirm for the first life bar for King. He's got to make a 3-0 comeback, but we've seen it before. That is a great start. Look at that, 350, a little bit more than that, almost 400 damage, over 400 damage into the standing reset. Great blocks by Foxy, but he had to block forward, backwards right there, or maybe forwards. Not even I know, not even King knows. And now Batman things are definitely happening. Slide into the trait to make it safe. Would have been a full conversion on hit. Great pickup off of that anti-air down one. And Foxy now has the potential to use the offensive pressure that Deadshot has. The 50-50s into some juggles. No, King not giving him a chance.
Getting closer.
But you're still missing.
Oh, and that's only very brilliant. Nice neutral jump after the fact. There's no more flash available for Foxy. That is going to be a huge combo into a knockdown. This is almost guaranteed in chip if Batman even touches him. Oh, but here we go. The zoning comeback. We've seen it before. It could definitely happen again. Deadshot has the potential to do so much damage through zoning. You make one mistake, and he knocks you back to full screen. Good patience to avoid the entirety of the blue trait from Deadshot. Life's getting a little bit more even, especially with not very much meter from Batman. Great dash out of the corner, forcing Fervor King to clash.
Stop.
Go ahead, make my day.
And I don't believe either player has any meter. Oh no, King does have one bar. He's going to give himself a little bit of life back. What a wake-up gunshot from Foxy after the clash. And that's going to be a jump two. Is going to air-to-air. And now Foxy has felt the first pain of loss in this set. Madzin out in the crowd cheering for Foxy, looking ecstatic. Of course, the European players got to stick together. They travel to so many tournaments together. They're kind of the taste of home when they're far away. And it looks like back from the Lazarus pit, revived as a shell of his former self. Now more violent, now more edgy, is Katana Prime.
Yo, what's up? We back in the building, boys.
How did it feel to be dead?
Dead? I come from Earth 2, clearly. I've been alive this whole time. I landed in SCR somehow, another time warp, and we are back in it, where Foxy Grampa is actually winning this set. On the other side, it was King. But, you know, scores and Earth and difference, who really cares?
And the other one, King's the one zoning out Foxy.
Beautiful thing. Everything is backwards as the air-to-air jump one comes in handy. Here comes more bullets and those poison shots looking to drain the meter of Bruce Wayne as he makes his slow and steady approach. Well,
so far it has been the slow and steady approach that King has needed to make, because Foxy has just been controlling the zoning game, keeping him out completely. There's been one time where it came back around. King did try the mirror one single time, did not work out for him, and now Foxy's looking to move forward to top 8.
All right, straight up, let me tell you, the last thing I saw Foxy on the way out from IPS Finals, the last thing he said to me, he said, KP, and this is straight up, I'm just going to win SCR. Like, that's what he said, like, straight up. He's done it before, so no stranger to taking the title here down in Southern California and looking extremely strong as the air-to-air jump one comes in handy, forcing King to clash.
This is a contractual obligation.
And already such a huge lead on Forever King in what's potentially the final game. When you're playing against another player who was top 16 in that IPS Finals, I think it's very potential that you could win if you're already doing this well against them.
Yeah, both of these men on the unfortunate end of the stick there. Double 0-2 performances at the finals, trying to redeem themselves just a week removed from that classic tournament. Now the jump to Vortex in control, and Foxy denial of the aerial attack as he meets him with that fantastic air-to-air jump one and an even better escape using that interactable.
That's going to be the life bar. King needs to just put on the pressure and never let Foxy out. Foxy's already being pushed into the corner, but he's got still so much room to zone or to bring it all the way back into offense. That's going to be the combo that kills.
And a Foxy Grampa rubs the hands and makes his way into the top 8 on the winner's side here at SCR 2017. A repeat of things that we saw from him last time he was around. He just... you know, with his stupid is, as I'm trying to read the back, stupid does, he gladly wears that on his back. The man who named himself after a hat on a cartoon has amassed a legacy of that of a legend. And hey, in this world, KP loves the Joker, so it's okay. He just laughs in my ear. He's so cute. It's all purple. Purple's my favorite color, actually. Did you know that? I'm a poker dealer. You see the way he shovels those cards? Good.
In there.
Yes.
What if? Are you going to get him a job at the casino, Joker? I feel like he would cheat all the time.
I don't think he wants to work. You know, he's just kind of, you know, if just, you know, he had a lot of money one time and then he burned it. We have these discussions. He's a questionable character over here, but it's okay because he's my friend.
Oh, Joker. When are we going to see the Joker player in this top 16? Somebody's going to have to pull out Joker in honor.
Joker's so bad that we had to get a real-life version before anybody would play him in the game. We need a random Sonic Fox appearance to, like, just pull him out. And that's not okay. So you Joker players, you know, use him. Why not? It's okay. Use him in pools or something. It's fine.
Yeah. Use him in top 8s. Make it happen. Play your setups. Make it, just mix. Just mix.
How do you love violence so much? It's so awesome. Like, I'm a civil man who's been on a good path, and you just keep laughing at me, and it's so welcoming and heartwarming, and I love this. Can I become a notorious villain who is so good that the scene hates my guts and they want me to die?
No, I don't.
I've got just the bath to put you in to make you.
So good. That's so good. All right, I give up my life of being a sweetheart, and I now hate everybody. Sonic Fox, you suck. Never come to another tournament again. Is it working?
I don't know if it'll ever sell. I think
Yeah,
you
I don't
are
think
going to
so.
need the
They won't let
the
me.
chemical bath. You're going to make it.
Ooh, chemical baths. Do you have chemical baths? Oh, wait, chemical baths? I saw it in the movie. It's Suicide Squad. What's up?
There's slight skin-altering side effects, but overall, it's quite a dip.
This is so good. Yo, forget this tournament. Let's film the next version of whatever. I'm definitely down to die and 10,000 gruesome ways, and we can use one from the movie and put out a cut of outtakes and let this mysterious-minded gentleman to my left, who I looked at his ID, it doesn't exist, as we try to figure out whose man's this actually is.
I think Joker is no man's but his own man.
No man's. Well, we have the next two coming up to the set. That is another jersey representing ENX is BioHazard from the Great White North, the Canadian god who just came up short at IPS Finals 9th, and his opponent another 9th placer in Noble's Illusions. A great set play of what's happening with these opponents, the tale into the story. Same place, same position. Not quite the same pot here, but a healthy 10K even after the tournament. Great support. Thanks for the people down at NRS and Warner Brothers for keeping everything going forward. It's going to be the man with 1 million characters against the man with maybe 3. It's a good triangle, but it pales in comparison when you deal with somebody of illusion stature, a man who lives training mode.
And who strangely only used Group 1 character at the IPS Finals.
Isn't that funny how it works?
It is funny. It's a great joke. And we know all about jokes here on the casting desk.
I got that one.
Desk, the casting couch.
Definitely. You just slow down, young man, all right? I just like the cards and the costume. That's
all right, fair. But, you know, you were talking about the $10,000 pot. But
Yes.
I think for these players, it's not so much about that. It's about redemption, right? These players, they were that close to making it to the ICS Finals. And now they get another chance to compete 1 week later at a big stage.
I say we should burn everybody who didn't make finals. How does that sound?
Sounds like a lovely idea.
Yes! All right, Chef, so let's gather up all of the failed contestants and just torch them, and then yay, right?
Why stop there? Why stop at the people who didn't qualify? Just saying, right?
Well, we need to have a tournament to begin with, so let's keep them for now.
The losers, you get knocked out of the losers bracket is literally you're donezo, right?
Ooh,
That's it. Tournament of death.
We got to take Joker to E-League now. This is so good.
It's going to happen. All right, so like I was saying, both these players, they didn't quite qualify at the IPS Finals. They were so close, and you know that they wanted it. These are two players that they grind so hard. They practice so many matchups, and now they get a chance. You know, if they make it and win this tournament, or at least get like in the top 3, that'll be a really nice redemption story to themselves. And both of them, I'm sure, have had a whole week of really trying to reconsider their entire game plan. What characters are they going to use? How are they going to play? Are there any other matchups they need to cover? In fact, we are starting off with an interesting character for Illusions. Not one that I've actually ever seen him play. Now, maybe I just missed it because he's played so many characters in the past. Have you ever seen him play the Catwoman?
I have, just in random online sets here and there, and if he's used them in the tournament, it kind of eludes me off the top of my head. So many matches, so many events, so many times we've seen illusions through the online and offline circuits with like all of his roster.
I know, it's literally confusing. Like, I may have actually seen it before, but I don't remember it.
No stranger to this character. Bane is BioHazard, the man literally carrying the Venom tubes on his back, bringing hype across the entirety of the world throughout the season, from Combo Breaker up through finals. He is going to attempt to break the back of another Gotham resident.
And we might not see a Joker, but in honor of the Joker, we do have 2 Batman villains. As close as we're going to get, probably. And this is a matchup that we did see. Oh, no, we didn't see this earlier today. We saw BioHazard playing against the other cat villain, Cheetah. And boy, that was one-sided. It is so tough to play any character that needs to play up close against Bane. That man will break your back.
And going for the entirety of the string, Illusions finally finds the opening after about 30 seconds of pure dismantling as BioHazard lumps on the command grabs back-to-back and right on cue, the reactionary air throw, tossing Illusions into the corner.
Just waiting out the down one anti-air into air throw, unnecessary roughness.
And the tombstone to follow it up. Huge dents in the ground in the prison, secure enough to keep Superman locked down, but what about the rest of the facility? I'm not quite sure, as Bane brutalizing Catwoman all over the level.
Clearly not enough to stop Bane's destruction. He's using the stage itself, and right now the comeback is going to be tough to make for Illusions. Bio has been running away with it. He's so good at keeping away as soon as he needs to deal with that debuff, and then going in as soon as he gets the chance.
All right, this time the meter burn back 3 to avoid the throw frames coming in from BioHazard, and the great read on the jump back, that wake up DP covering so much distance and such a massive hitbox as Illusions takes it right back to Bio. Slugfest in swing right now, but is it too little too late?
Oh, do not jump at BioHazard. He has made a statement. Don't ever leave the ground against him. You're going to take those command grabs, and you're going to like it.
Illusion's taking away as much health as he can as he fights his way back into it. Wow, Bane is on debuff, and a super looking to go in between the gap. Great bait from Illusions. Too much happening at once, and the comeback is now real.
If Illusions can just survive until the end of this debuff. Okay, there we go. The end of the buff. Now he's on debuff.
That was so godlike from BioHazard. Fantastic usage of that new ability to cancel that string into the backdash, narrowly avoiding the meter burn back 3, down 2 into the command grab. Take what a sequence as BioHazard clutches out game 1.
That might be the first time that I've actually seen somebody use one of those strings that you can cancel on whiff into backdash.
Green arrow.
Ever in Injustice 1 or Injustice 2. I'm trying to think if there was any in MKX, but definitely within these 2 games, we've had some. Never seen it used to actually bait something out, and that was beautiful. And Illusions going back to his tried and true green arrow.
Just don't know where he ends and you begin.
Begin.
Although it's not going to be a green arrow, it's going to be the red arrow.
Either way, that's got a lot of damage as he gets tossed like a ragdoll. Luckily, enough quick hits on that wake-up Hurricane Bow, cutting through the armor of Bane as Illusion goes back to his tried and true Day 1 main character.
Wow, and he actually hits him with 2 projectiles during the charge. It only has 1 hit of armor unless you're in level 3. Then, of course, you get projectile invincibility and, I believe, 2 hits of armor.
And there we go, getting a bit optimal in the corner, going for the slide. Here's the Savage Blast. Wake up as Illusion keeps the offense on. 2 hits and enough to chip out Bane as BioHazard attempts to use the armor and spike that interaction.
And Illusions is taking advantage of the fact that Green Arrow, above a lot of other characters, can put on the pressure in a way that breaks Bane's armor. He's already broken 3 separate armored attacks just because of how many hits he can do so fast.
Woo, and the meter burn roll, that invincibility going through the great elbow from Bane, and Illusions with the punish on the charge. Here's the chase down, keeps it unclashable now, looking to chip away at the health with those fire arrows, now active once again, and another charge.
Oh, and a great way to deal with the charge. One of the only ways he was going to be able to get a punish, and he's taking so much life with this little pixel of health. It was a very dangerous magic pick.
Illusion, such a formidable arrow player, man. He just knows the character in and out. So many different ways to get the job done, to throw mix-ups at his opponent, even on the defensive side. That's something you rarely see from any type of gameplay.
But let me just point out right here, Bio has full meter. He hasn't used his trait yet. He could easily one-shot Illusions at this point in the game.
Yes.
Illusions has to be so terrified right now.
Here
Oh,
we
and that
go.
could be it. No, not quite.
523 damage, a whiff, and the second shot of the Savage Blast not coming out in time as Bane charging through the projectile and shades of absolute battle where girls had BioHazard down to the wire. Literally anything is going to do it, but some fantastic Venom management going along with the ability to convert that overhead into the bounce cancel. BioHazard with the resources both meter-wise and trait-wise. Execution as well, you know, even though it is the hardest combo, the man knows exactly what he's doing for the right situation.
Ooh, gets hit by just a normal arrow, not a huge punish. But yeah, just like I was saying, Bane is never out of the game. Never, ever out of the game. When you have that many resources, I mean, he could have just done level 3 and just supered and it would have worked. But regardless, Illusion played an amazing game that last round. I think if he keeps it up, he's easily got a chance in this set.
All right, and the Savage Splash on Wake Up, trying to avoid that dead space where Bane can hit you with that Wake Up command grab or the uppercut, anything, and that forward two, the big boy punch, while in level 3 Venom, breaking, shattering through everything as Illusions tries to fight his puny arrows against the man with the Venom tubes.
But he's not afraid to zone himself with tires. Whatever works, whatever you got at your disposal, everybody can be a zoner in Injustice, depending on where you're standing.
Great bait now, looking for the chip on Wake Up, but the invincibility on that elbow, allowing BioHazard to escape the pain now, but eats an arrow to a face as we tie it up.
And Illusions has so many resources under his belt. He can use them for so many different great options. He can get out of the pressure, but of course armor is going to be challenging a lot of that. Wow, Slide being unthrowable. Interesting.
Wow, and that elbow catching him all the way up on the 9th floor. Meter burns through the motorcycle, but Bane, just like the backseat broken of Bruce's, has no problem breaking his possessions. That bike, no chance for BioHazard and the Reeds. That is a swift 3-0 victory as BioHazard waltzes into the winner's top 8.
Wow, what a just tough match to watch. That was so dominant by BioHazard. He just controlled the corner. He used that armor. He armored through armor. What are you going to do? Sometimes you just get your back broke, right?
I mean, if he pops the level 2 trade level 3, he had enough hits to break the armor, then armor through the attack itself. So even if the bike gets off with Illusions, spinning the bar of the meter for the armor on his, there's a lot of armor going on, but trust, Bane breaks it. So at the end of the day, armor versus armor, you are going to lose. And BioHazard, again, it's all about the management. Right timing, right special move, whatever it takes to keep Illusions cornered. And once Green Arrow couldn't establish the zoning game in that final decisive game of the set, it was just all down here from there as BioHazard kind of walks through, man. He had a plan, he stuck to it, and here he is trying to make up for his losses that still haunts him from the last week.
Yeah, which is very tough. We very rarely see Bio going out that early, even in a stacked tournament such as that. And the reason why is because he's always ready with the matchups. Now, even if we had seen some crazy switch at the very end of the game from Illusions, we would always have the chance of seeing either Deadshot or Harley from Bio. So he's just ready for all the matchups. His Bane is amazing. Obviously, the Bane player out there right now.
All right, we're going to continue deeply in this top 16. Up next, it is going to be Madzin going up against Dragon. Now, Dragon is going to break the mold here. He did, in fact, qualify for his spot at E-League, taking home 5th place, I believe, at IPS Finals. And Madzin, one of those other guys going 0-2 out there, just really, really rough situation. But the Batman stayed in the States, so he's making a second run here at SCR, take some money home back with him to Germany and points and momentum if he decides to show up for the last chance qualifier, as information on that will be released, you know, soon. Don't shoot me, not yet. I'll get it for you, I promise. Just hold on. And yeah, one game at a time. This is the winner's side. We saw Dragon take it back, use some Aquaman throughout this tournament on multiple occasions. And Madzin's been Batman the entire way. So whether or not we'll get that classic matchup, it's yet to be determined. But we'll get into the button check where both of these men are looking relatively friendly.
They are, and that's just for now, because we know that Madzin, when he gets in the zone,
oh yeah,
the friendliness stops and the real Madzin comes out.
Oh
now,
yeah.
Dragon, he's always going to be Dragon. That's not going to change much. But Madzin, he's actually in a surprisingly good mood, but that also does mean that he made out of his pool in winners, and I know he was playing against Nubcakes.
Yes, he did. A man who also qualified for E-League and showing that he is one of SoCal's finest, although he hadn't been seen much. He made his way dominating through the Hometown Heroes program where he took second at the finals alongside Emperor Nix to qualify now. Madzin, that has to be a huge momentum breaker, right?
Right.
This man is already there. You have proven that you can beat him in tournament. You make a last chance run, and then here you go. You're right in there. As Dragon's going to adjust his pillow, you know.
He's going to hug his chair. He's like, thank you so much for supporting me.
Just keep an eye on him. Let's see how much he can, struggle doing this. This is beautiful. This is the only time we get to take shots at Dragon because he's so godlike, and he just, wins Evo and stuff. But right now, the matchup with that fantastic Vertigear chair, which feels like a cloud, so much so it has a mind of its own, and it is actually bodying the young man from Delaware. He can't find the realest of real mix-ups as he is forced to change his stance and give us what we were not ready for, and instead just removes the bottom pillow, pack it up. Training wheels are off. Let's get into the match.
We finally found the answer to Dragon. The answer to Dragon is a Vertigear chair.
Now, on the other end, we know what the matchup is with Madzin in chairs, right?
Oh yeah. No, that matchup is 10-0 Madzin. Free.
So let's just hope things stay as civilized and Madzin doesn't have to jump in this matchup himself, because right now, we're just keeping about it justice. Everything on the outside can stay and remain a civilized state here at the Anaheim Convention Center.
All right, and I do just want to, I have an update to point out. So, obviously Madzin beat Nubcakes.
Yes.
Punk beat Nubcakes in the losers finals of
Wow.
that pool to make it into
Wow.
the top 16 in losers.
Wow. Young Punk finding his way all the way through Black Adam, and he is now again another top 16 under his belt. If you thought it wasn't serious competition, it's time to wake up. I don't know how many times it's going to take, but somehow makes his way through that depth of a bracket. Now on the other side in winners pool 7, it was Hayatei who defeated Rewind in the winners final to advance into the top 16. On the loser side of that, you have Emperor Iron God, the Fate player from SoCal, going up against a Tai who's been playing Blue Beetle the whole way, and the winner of that will face Rewind for their spot in the loser top 16.
And let me just say, that sets up Theo and Hayatei, a really good rematch from the IPS finals.
Yeah, we could
I
go.
can't wait to see that later.
A week ago it was 3-0. It may change direction here as Madzin goes for the classic, the slide into the single batarang, easy conversion, and the smart stuff there after getting the hit on the jump 2 in the vortex situation, noticing immediately that Dragon would trade up and goes for the forward 3 to get that mass damage. Now, some players talk about going into the string for the chip because all of the damage hits. Where do you stand on that?
Oh man, I don't know. I think it really depends on the situation.
Sure.
It really depends on the situation and the match. It's weird. It's weird.
Being from SoCal, you know a lot about Aquaman and a lot about Batman. These characters have played Wednesday Night Fights for 4 years at the very least.
Oh, these are our two characters. These two and Superman. I mean, we've got all the main Justice League heroes.
Yes.
This is the Hall of Justice is located in SoCal.
Absolutely.
Sure. So is the Batcave. So is Atlantis. It's right off the coast.
Got you.
You know, East Coast, they've got their cool characters, of course.
It's true.
No, actually, I think East Coast may have had just as many Superman. Superman is everywhere. That's what it is. We are living on Krypton.
And triggering Chef by mentioning the name Superman as is a pastime that hasn't dissipated in 4 years. Somehow it is always his fault, but right now it's just Bruce and Arthur going at it like buddies in Metropolis. Maybe that's what has Chef's minds going. You can't avoid him one way or the other as Madzin keeping the corner pressure now. Dragon, some of the best defense in the scene against Batman. If you let any Batman player tell you, it is extremely hard to open up this young man.
Yeah, I believe King was actually talking about how Dragon is one of the main people that you cannot open up with Batman, and he's the one that shows that, apparently Batman's offense is lacking.
I will not be your ally. Then you know what's coming.
Yeah, so this fight is happening no much, and from the crowd somewhere, Forever King screaming plus 19 is not enough. Not sure how we feel about that, but it's not, you know, important here in this situation as both men walking up with the down one, the massive levels of respect as Madzin gets the throw to break the ice.
Oh, and a weird trade. Neither player able to really take an advantage off of that.
Oh, what a fantastic conversion from Dragon. A little too far out on the juggle to complete the background bounce, but instead going for the Trident Rush. Chip damage in the best way. Safe, stacking, and annoying as possible as Dragon spins the extra bar on the Tentacle Strike. Still a hefty chunk of damage even without the bounce. And Aquaman wins. A story that we've seen before. It has not gone away as Dragon doing what he does best, and that is taking the W in the lamest of ways.
And now the reverse coaching. We did see Madzin coaching Foxy a little bit. Foxy's going back up there himself. And I do have to say, I have to point this out. Madzin lost without clashing that first game. I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe he just thought, even if he clashed in that situation, it was too much of a chip death situation anyway. Maybe he just wanted to move on to the next one, but there was plenty of time for him to clash. Maybe he forgot he had it. I don't know. But he is moving back in to Batman. He's going to stick with the matchup. He played it very well. He's keeping it competitive.
Begin.
This is a matchup that has gone back and forth so much on what people think it is as far as, you know, advantage one way or the other.
Sure.
A lot of people say it's totally winnable for Batman. Some people say it's close to even. All up in the air.
That's the beauty of matchups. You know, it's not quite drawn out just yet. The story hasn't been complete as Madzin gets the sweep there at max distance. Great stuff, outspacing Dragon. But again, with these conversions, 243, not quite the Aquaman damage of before, but still hefty in all of it adding up. Triple it down with the Trident Rush meter burn as Dragon goes into it on cue, and that's a healthy combo when you put it all together.
It is. Every single time that Aquaman touches you, it's going to be a solid amount of damage. Now, of course, he isn't going to be hitting for half your life anymore, but regardless, it's going to give him a lot of really good positioning. He's going to get a knockdown. It's going to guarantee you some more chip.
Can we talk about how half of Dragon's health is almost gone literally all chip? So much defense there. Even the patience knowing that he couldn't punish the whip on the up grapple as the bat was there to keep him safe, but this man has not been comboed yet.
That's true, but look at all that damage. On the flip side, though, you want to talk about chip damage. I can't even talk about it. I want to talk about chip damage. Look at how much chip damage Madzin has taken. There's only been a few openings. It's only been little hits here and there. I mean, they nerfed the combo pads from Aquaman, but does it really matter when he doesn't even need them?
All right, and there on the trade, Dragon card pressing a button. Here's the opening that Madzin was looking for. Into the vortex, he hits it. Goes for the meter burn 4-3. Big chip damage there, but Dragon poking through that trait cancel, which is not quite as plus as he thinks. And chip, chip, chip away. That is the name of the game when it comes to Aquaman. But Bruce, using that tech that he probably created, you know, it's sitting in the Fortress of Solitude, so 9 times out of 10 he came up with it. As Madzin tries a different approach, this time with the jump in. Dragon at the ready with that back to block being his favorite button in this set so far.
Oh yeah, he is. I mean, he's always been such a patient player. Seeing him play a character like Aquaman is absolutely terrifying. And you notice he keeps blocking so well that he managed to get out of the corner every single time. No matter what happens right here, look how much space he has to walk back. Oh, and that's a punish. No trait used to make that safe, and now we're not even seeing a clash from Madzin. Even though he had the meter lead, he could have gained back a little bit of life, but there's really no chance right here. Now going down 2 rounds without clashing a single time.
That was inevitable. And kind of weird, too, because at the end, he actually ate the bulk of the Trident Rush. Not sure if he was looking for the push block or whatever have you. He still had an opportunity and didn't take it. Not quite sure. I don't want to say he laid it down, but it's just a rough situation, you know, in the bracket now. Madzin facing a dire straight trip to losers as Dragon looking business as usual, man. Just as strong as he's been throughout the entirety of the season, and here in the postseason, still doing his thing, making waves with the man, with the king of Atlantis.
There was definitely a short amount of time right after the patch changes where he looked like he was struggling a little bit, but as far as mental fortitude goes, Dragon is second to none. He made the comeback. He's now back to being one of the best players in the scene. I mean, he always was. It's just he found himself again. And I love the fact that he is continuing to use Aquaman, that it's definitely very much his style in this game. Now, of course, in Mortal Kombat X, which is the game he really started with, he played a lot of heavy pressure characters, which is very interesting for such a patient player of his caliber, but it's because it covered exactly what he needed to do. He didn't take risks, he took advantage of every single situation, and that's what Aquaman does.
Speaking of what Aquaman does, Trident Rush. If you haven't seen that move, welcome to Atlantis, baby. Chip and a scoop there, unpunished. A little too far out, but a great meter burn 4-3 going right through that down poke is Madzin. A much more even situation here so far in Game 3.
Oh, takes the last hit, and wow, nice usage of interactable, barely able to escape it. But now Dragon's in the corner. Madzin has an opportunity to pressure, but look at even on block, you're going to gain so much space from Trident Rush. And especially on hit. Oh, but nice jump over.
And the smart stuff from Madzin continuing the pressure throughout that Water of Life where your damage is not scaled by any means necessary. You get literally all of it. So keeping it plus with that EX Batarang and tacking on insane chip damage, if we'd call it that. He fights his way into the driver's seat for the first time in this set.
It's like, I think what happens when you activate Water of Life is all the chip damage that Aquaman has dealt should slowly start being dealt to him.
Over the course of 4 years from Injustice 1, all of our tiers and Aquaman apologists can hold that as he deals with it, working as intended, as the great folks at NRS have told us time and time again.
Won't submit, Bruce. Don't bet on it.
All right, Madzin with a nice lead. He does have to win 3 straight, of course, and he is locked into Batman, but he can make it happen. That's a nice punish, guaranteed punish on the Tentacle Strike from that range, and a nice optimal combo to just further this lead. Oh, but that's really scary. Putting himself into the corner is going to guarantee so much chip. Look at all that meter from Dragon. So much could happen here.
One thing to point out about Dragon, he's so good at negating the pressure after the trait. He has not let Madzin for free walk in with 1 trait or less, excuse me, just 1 at all. It's so stupid because Dragon just kind of nullifies it. Batman's used that to start their pressure and negate any counter poking, but somehow Dragon is able to just turn Madzin's offensive clock off, and when a Batman can't do what he wants, he's in big time trouble.
And now we're looking at chip potentially for Madzin, or just making the right read. The first up battering he threw, and that entire sequence, knowing that that's when Dragon was going to jump. He knew he had to. Great read, and Madzin putting himself on the board. Oh, but we're already starting to start off with chip. 2 meter burn Trident Rush. Look at all that damage. Madzin hasn't been hit yet, but look at his life. That is a combo.
I mean, and that's confidence too, because Madzin definitely did a raw slide there with no bat to cover his approach. He just knew. He's going to have to find different ways and take some risks in order to open Dragon up, because the typical game plan has not worked in the slightest.
Look at this defense from Dragon, not getting opened up. 4-3, 4-3 jump.
Pressure.
All this pressure. Look at
yes, and all of the blocks from Dragon this entire sequence, not letting up. This is amazing right now. The 800-second block string finally broken as Madzin gets the full combo into the swaggy stuff. 426 damage, and Dragon says, you know what, I'm waking up. Peace. I'm not blocking this anymore. I am waking up.
You can only block Batman for so long. You gotta eventually make the read, make the I don't know, jump out, poke out. You gotta do something, because the whole time he's building resources, he's building trait, he's building meter. So that defense by Dragon was amazing, but the fact that he still chose the wrong situation to try to get out meant that overall it was much better for Madzin. And he's controlling this corner in. Wow, what a down 1 into a beautiful conversion, catching him out of the 4-3.
And the Batman special, the wake up batarang, not invincible, but somehow hits 99% of the time. Those are canon stats from the great folks at We're Probably Lying, but we're probably not.
Probably not lying. That's probably accurate. It's probably lowballing it, to be honest.
Absolutely. Wow, great spacing there, that forward 2. A different scoop of sorts as the meter burn Trident Rush leaves him at massive plus frames.
Can I just say, Madzin woke up with the up battering and got hit out of it immediately after that, calling this out on our stats. We're going to need some better mathematicians back here.
Absolutely, someone help. Madzin now chip damage territory away. If Dragon can build a bar meter, 1 string into the Trident Rush should be enough to get the job done. Huge bait with the parry, not going to work, but the throw staying alive is Madzin. Huge problem to come back plus, and there it is, the poke into a finally clash.
By Neptune, I won't yield.
And now that he feels like he has to. He can't just move on to the next game. It was a good reaction to Clash, though. But still, now he's going to have to get in on the zoning. Guaranteed chip from the Tentacle Strike.
And that is it. Dragon makes it into the top 8 winners here at SCR 2017. Madzin with the handshake walks right off. There's a sigh of relief. Not quite sure if Dragon's going to attack the chair again. Let's take a look. He is not. He's going to desync his controller, and
I have to say, Madzin, somebody's screaming in the crowd, but I have to say, Madzin is happier right now than I think I've ever seen him. What is it? Do you think it's like the sunny California weather? Or, I mean, when you see Madzin lose, he's mad. He is pissed. No matter what happens, but this man walked away smiling for the first time in however many years we've known him now, like 3.
maybe there's a little bit more discipline. You know, he's in winners, so, you know, he just lost now. He's not eliminated from the tournament just yet, so maybe the salt is cooking or boiling, or maybe just turning it over. You know, the season's over, everybody's in breakdown mode, but this is still an insanely stacked tournament. You might have thought, hey, you know, I'm in winners final, now I'm in top 16. I've been here before. But then it gets super real. Here's your Dragons, here's your Hayateis, here's your Foxys. You know, it becomes a bit more extra than necessary, and I think Madzin is used to the big stage. You know, we saw him, although he got in as the 15th seed, or was it 16th? 15th seed, yeah, because Scar got in last. He has definitely fought through all the trials of what it takes to make that position. So it's okay to take a loss here and there, as, you know, but bouncing back is something he's shown to do throughout the entirety of the circuit.
Yeah, he has had some of the most heartbreaking losses in both this game and MKX.
And some of the best wins as well.
That's true. He puts it all on the line when he's playing. I mean, everything, not just everything on the line, right? And you see the results of that, and that's why he's continued to improve as a player.
Yes.
And he's always one of the most fun to watch. And Batman is a really interesting pick for him, but I've been liking it. But past that, I think we are on next to our final top 16 winners match.
Yes, there's a man sitting in the chair I can't see on one side, but that is Hayatei
against Theo, the rematch that I have been dying to see. This is the one I've been looking forward to.
I mean, it's only been a week. It's only been a week. You want
that's been too long.
Too long for Chef.
Too long.
Maybe. I don't know. Come here. I can't hear you. As Hayatei is trying to whisper stuff.
Yelling at you.
I don't. Huh? I know. We got the update. Yeah. I know. It's unreal. Hayatei.
He thinks we're not looking at stuff. He doesn't have faith in us.
I mean, as a bracket god, I mean, literally, let's just give the people the raw updates from the crowd. Why not? It never hurts to do that. So, in the lower half of that bracket, as we told you, Hayatei did come out in winners. It is Emperor Iron God who took the run back over a tie, eliminating him from the tournament. He is now going up against Rewind to make top 16 losers. That is impressive. The SoCal Dr. Fate player who tells us that he only thinks Fate loses 3 matchups and the rest are either even or winning. Maybe up play of the century. Maybe he's on to something. I don't know. There was a heated discussion in the pool areas earlier, and we'll get to him more on that if he decides to make his way through. On the other half of the losers top 16 is going to be Panda Global Punk going up against Rogue Slayer, and the rematch from Absolute Battle that went 3-2 in favor of Slayer's newly found Catwoman at the time. Go down. More SoCal. Flowchart making his way through his bracket. He's going to be going up against Han Rashid. This is the Wednesday Night Fights All-Star game.
No, that was the grand finals of both of the previous West Coast Warzone tournaments.
In MKX, yes. So now in Injustice, they will meet, and this time for elimination. Skip one down. It is crazy who made it out. He is carrying the legacy of Wednesday Night Fights. And on the other half of that, Daddy Dab, a.k.a. One Punch Dab, is going to be going up against Coach Steve. So you have the PG trifecta in the top 16, ready to get the job done, as Coach Steve defeated Dag, who came out of the woodworks in order to make that top 16, taking Starfire all the way.
I saw Dag earlier. Okay, actually, it looks like they're going into this match. So here we go, the final match of winners top 16 to see who makes it into top 8 winners. Hayatei with Robin against Theo. Now Theo choosing Superman. Of course, he does have the big pick of do Supergirl, do Superman. He could go back to Aquaman. I don't know if he ever will. Who knows?
Well, super or not, he gets the whiff punish. That is general for all characters as he slips out of that Robin combo. Now, here's the zoning, playing the spacing lasers game to try to keep Hayatei at bay. And the small but sure approach. Meter burn forward 3 on reaction through that interactable toss. Guaranteed pressure, but Theo with the throw.
And what great patience by Hayatei, knowing exactly when to use that. That buff forward 3 is a great buff. He's been talking about how useful it actually is. There are so many things he can do with it, exactly like he did right there, punishing such a far-range interactable.
All right, and there's the eye laser now grounded, now aerial. Theo electing not to meter burn it and go for the extended damage and push back knockdown, but the raw jump in, no any anti-air attempt from Theo, no button press. Is this psychological?
I don't know. Maybe he was just playing safe. Of course, Robin's jump-ins are so scary. But right here, this should be the kill. Going into scoop, safe ender.
Yeah, fantastic conversion. He saw the juggle gravity was a little weird, so goes into the trait, down one into the scoop. Great Superman awareness coming from Theo, one of the originators.
Oh, without a doubt, we've seen so much Superman play from Theo over the years. We have seen, I want to know how many eye lasers this man has shot over the past 4 years.
Man, if they could have the stat when you look in the tickers of the game and it's like, hey, Katana players have thrown at least 10 billion fans. Theo lasers alone probably rivaled that number throughout this franchise's history, as he is now up with the life lead, massive chip damage, and the bait. Unclashable variety, and he survives it somehow. Great delay, wake up, and now Hayatei has a chance.
Oh, an unfortunate drop, but he's getting another chance, keeping it relatively unclashable.
What is happening in this situation? Theo forced the clash now. He does have the meter advantage. Hayatei, expect him to not use anything now. He won't have enough to kill on a B&B unless he gets a raw jump in at this point, but the Superman punch denied, and Theo already looking different from the man we saw at IPS Finals in a wash 3-0 victory, to the point where Hayatei had to look up at the score and make sure it was okay. Theo has bounced back at home here at SCR, a little bit closer, ready to go, going up 1-0.
Well, Hayatei may have already expelled all of his skills, having to make that 3-0 comeback on Guam earlier in the day.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is easily my favorite set of today.
Oh, and the whip one is using the DP into the combo. Straight down, here's the chip damage, and Theo not watching his legs. But a backdash is all it's going to take to get Hayatei to whip that jump attack. Here's the full combo, 400 damage coming from that traded Superman enhancement, and an unblockable interactable to the face.
And that is a scary interactable to stand by for the power characters, of course. You can't underrate that Robin jump, and has so much range, and now he's going to be interactable.
All right, wake up backdash from Hayatei, looking to clip Superman out of the air. Maybe that cave has an extended hurt box that allows him to get the job done. And great flip, but even better chase down on the backdash from Theo, as he refuses to let Hayatei run away with any type of life lead.
And interestingly enough, choosing to use meter to end that round. Now, maybe he is just a mathematician and knew that that wasn't going to kill, but I thought that was more than enough to kill.
Oh, and the meter burn roll going through that dash punch. Theo still working on his first health bar. Great situation he's in right now as Hayatei looking for the chase down. A DP won't be enough to chip by itself, but the murder rain connecting. Good trade in Theo's favor, but Hayatei finally getting the monkey off the first life bar off of his back.
Oh, gets underneath, uses to the straight, very nice. And now he's starting to sweep overhead mix up.
Calls it back in time to get the block. Meter burn roll to escape is Theo. Hayatei standing on full meter as he tries to work his way in and tie this score up. Theo is up 1-0. Hayatei using that interactable, huge radius on that blast, and this time a whip punish of his own.
Very nice, just barely getting out of the race at 4-2-3.
Tap out if you need to. The outghouls don't tap.
The outghouls don't tap. That sounds like the edgiest crew of all time, but Damien fitting in perfectly as he tries to prove his worth to Superman, you know, devoting himself to the new regime, and a whip punish again this time. No meter for the extension. Hayatei is going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, and that Bird-A-Rain coming right back. The old Wayne Tech getting the job done, and a whiff punish even better. These guys ultimate neutral on display in this sequence.
Both of these characters have some of the best neutral tools in the entire game. Both have really good mobility. Whiff punishes are going to be so huge, and here on a jump back, one is a great choice for the whiff punish.
All right, down to the wire now. There's the Bird-A-Rain, free pressure now. Back dashes, but not enough real estate to escape as Hayatei ties it up at 1 game apiece. We take a look at the crowd. Everyone kind of afraid, camera shy now, looking away.
And the one person who you would expect to be less camera shy,
absolutely,
Michelangelo
you know
right
it.
There. I'm surprised he didn't get right in that frame. But this is going to be tied up 1-2-1, 1 apiece. Already closer than it was at IPS Finals.
Bird-A-Rain is out.
just playing the patient game, trying to build as much meter as he can. That's the biggest thing. It's even if, aside from chip, even if you just avoid the laser, Superman is building meter. He can use that to meter in the lasers, to get out of pressure situations. Oh, wow, gets over the interactable.
Yeah, great escape from a pressure situation there. Unblockable it is, but instead gets the Bird ring out. What a fantastic air dash, mixing up Hayatei's game plan. Not sure what he wanted to do, but Theo was having none of it as he opens him up and goes back to the zoning game he so roughly wants to play.
So many lasers. We need to start counting these lasers per set. Oh, great way to catch the backdash.
Same side, gets for the low, doesn't come in. No hit from there from Hayatei. Not sure if he was looking for it to start with. Here's the swoop. Great block on the cross-up from Theo, but doesn't quite watch his legs.
Oh, and a punish on the air laser. We've seen such amazing use of meter burn roll from Hayatei so far.
And Theo's had enough. You're going to back-to-back DP me. Here's a wake-up of my own. Here's the DP right back at you as the layer denies the chip on the burner ring. Robin looking for that one hit. Great bait on the interactable, but he's still taking chip. And the assassin strike to run under the laser. What a genius.
He's like, look, I don't even need to meter burn roll. I'm Robin.
Using that enhanced mobility from what seems like a dangerous special move in the right situation, able to avoid this circuit of lasers as he tries to make his way in. Now Theo on the offensive and backs off.
And just these lasers are chipping away at Hayatei's life. As soon as he gets in, all it takes is one small hit to knock him back. Hayatei's gonna have to make another great read, and that could be the start of it.
Push blocks immediately. Theo wanting nothing to do as Robin is hitting him for huge damage every time he's able to open him up for a full combo. And a little antsy there. He got close, but Theo staying steady. And the down two, great air escape. That was for sure a combo. Was going to lead into corner pressure. And we all know what Superman does in the corner.
Murder. That's what he does. Exactly what he did to Shazam in the story mode.
Oh man, and Wonder Chef triggered again. The
Always,
late days of Injustice 1 as Hayatei used the meter burn roll to escape again down to the wire situation. A little too far on the DP, and this time chugged by the forward to the cross swipe, coming in handy. It is now 2-1. Echo Fox Theo on the verge of getting the run back here at SCR. Hayatei, though, he's been down before, and we've seen what he's done in clutch situations. A man not shying away from the pressure, and a victim of a lot of 3-2 heartbreaking losses over the course of the season.
That's true, but he's returned the favor more than a few times himself. In fact, today is where we saw him make a 3-0 comeback after being down 2-0, or 0-2. So he can easily, he's never out of the set.
Not in the slightest.
And just as an off-stream update, Flowchart did beat Han Rashid to make it into one more slot further in that top 16 losers.
And a whip punish now starts with the DP, instantly meter burns it. Not gonna wait on any of this. 350 damage, catches him with the low, and using that burner ring for the empty, free approach. No defense necessary. None even allowed, as Hayatei is putting on a clinic here with these offensive capabilities of the Boy Wonder.
And can I just say, I have never seen any human being ever with Punish Superman as much as I've seen Hayatei do this set.
There's a whip punish back at you, a little too short on that sword flip as Superman gets the lasers going now. Great escape from Theo, not standing there too much to block the burner ring and allow Hayatei to simply waltz in, but making him work for all the individual hits.
Like I need advice from you.
Hayatei with a huge lead, but even though he has the lead, he's still going to have to chase Superman down. Not let him build up that free chip. It ends up being quite a bit, and nice jumps over.
This is upwards of 500 if Hayatei can continue the combo. He does not go for the back three, instead keeps it short, looking for the close knockdown, keeping Theo right where he wants him.
He's got to get out of the pressure himself. That's a great option, but he doesn't spend the meter, and Theo calls him out on it.
Yeah, great punish on the DP, but right on cue. He goes for it again a second time with the reads. With punish, no. Both men whipping some normals. Unfortunately for Hayatei, tries to jump. Superman with a better air-to-air jump once in the game, and this should be enough for the finish. No! Instead, Theo using that late air tech, 2 bars a meter, grants himself a second chance at life, and although it's a massive life deficit, Superman with some of the most burst damage in the game.
This is how it all starts. One hit, taking Hayatei from corner to corner. already putting him in that danger zone.
We've all been there where you get hit by an errant laser and then a meter burns and pops you for about 200. And Hayatei right now dealing with this field, and Theo feeling super comfortable, not, you know, in trouble at all. Meter burns it to keep it safe now, dashes up, and Hayatei is in big time trouble.
Now we're going to keep it unclashable. Zoning from lasers is going to be so dangerous here. Oh, he blocked the straight laser. That's so much chance. One more laser could do it, but there is a bar.
And
not going to be used.
What a comeback. Unfortunate choke situation there for Hayatei and Theo. We talk about Superman and his burst damage and how those lasers add up. So much chip coming from that heat zap, even more enhanced with the trait active, and Theo not worried about a thing. You need to hit me. Yeah, good luck getting through this laser show. It's ridiculous.
That is essentially all of SoCal tournaments for 2 years for Injustice 1.
Yeah, you're not surprised in the slightest. You have this look like, man, I've seen this story before. Let me tell you something about it. And that's how I feel sitting next to Chef when Superman is on the screen.
We've seen it so many times, but that's the thing, is Theo knows that exactly, even when he doesn't have the life lead,
yes,
he knows how to take advantage of that and still play the zoning game. Zoning comebacks are very much a thing in Injustice 2, more so than almost any other game that I've ever seen. Now, only a few players really take advantage of it. Theo is one of those players. You have to be willing to play in a vaguely different style than if you actually had the life advantage in zone, because you're going for these essentially mix-ups, more so than just trying to push your advantage.
Yes.
You really got to make those hard reads in zoning, you know, throw out the random straight lasers, which, by the way, did a ton of damage on Chip to Hayatei. He blocked 3 of them in one round. That's like a full combo.
With the trait enhanced, the heat zap, I mean, such a huge chunk. You just look at the yellow on the life bar, and it's intimidating.
Ooh.
You get afraid to even eat the chip, and you get to the point where you're jumping a little bit early, and the Superman players are mixing up the different types of lasers, and then you get hit by one. Meter burn, pop, here's a bigger chunk, and now you're in infinitely more trouble.
Oh, and then that's the knockdown. That's all the way back to full screen. He can follow you up and pressure you in the corner if he wants, or he can stay there. Whatever he wants to do, it's always bad news. But that is generally the Superman game. And,
yeah, so we'd like to thank you for holding on. That is the Injustice Winners Top 8 set for SCR 2017. We will provide you with the updates. Just follow either one of us on Twitter. We're going to go hit the pool section and see exactly what's happening. That is it currently for Injustice 2. Stick around. Chef and the people here, thanks for having us. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you tomorrow for the Top 8.